Picture this. You're standing in the aisle at Target or Walmart. You came here for one thing: toothpaste. Just paste. To clean your teeth. But the moment you stop in front of the shelf, you are assaulted by 47 different options. Whitening, gum detoxify, enamel repair, charcoal, baking soda, mint, spearmint, cool mint, sensitive plus, total care, deep clean, 3D white, pro health. And for each of those, you've got the standard tube, the travel size, the family value pack, and the twin pack. You wanted a 2-minute shopping trip. Instead, you've been standing there for 7 minutes, reading the back of a toothpaste box like it's the Declaration of Independence. So what do you pick? Probably what you bought last time? Or the one at eye level? Or maybe just the most expensive one because your brain whispers, well, if it costs more, it must work better, right? Now, zoom out. Imagine that instead of toothpaste, you're choosing an insurance plan. You're selecting a 401k allocation. You're comparing credit card APRs. Your brain, already exhausted by the 47 tubes of toothpaste, now has to make decisions that will determine your financial future for the next 30 years. And here is the scary part. In that moment when you get overwhelmed and think, ugh, whatever, I'll just pick this one, someone makes money. A lot of money. They are counting on you to give up. My name is Dean. I spend way too much time obsessing over how modern capitalism hands you an illusion of freedom just to empty your wallet. If you've ever wasted 30 minutes on Netflix trying to pick a movie only to watch nothing, or if you've picked the most expensive phone plan, just to end the headache of comparing data caps, hit that subscribe button and like this video. Because by the end of this, you're going to learn exactly how much that freedom of choice is actually costing you. There's a name for this phenomenon. It's the title of a 2004 book by psychologist Barry Schwartz, and a cornerstone concept in behavioral economics, the paradox of choice. The word paradox is key here. Common sense tells us that more options should be better. 20 choices are better than 2, right? It increases the odds of finding the perfect fit for you. But the data says the exact opposite. As choices increase, people make worse decisions. They procrastinate making any decision. And even when they do choose, they feel less satisfied. Put simply, an abundance of choice isn't freedom. It's homework. And it's homework where nobody told you the grading rubric. And the cost of this homework isn't just your mental sanity. It's actual money, cold, hard, calculable dollars. There is a famous study from Columbia University by Professor Sheena Iyengar. Back in 2000, she set up a tasting booth for jams in an upscale grocery store. One day, she displayed 24 different jams. On another day, she displayed only 6. The result? Of the people who saw 24 jams, only 3% actually bought a jar. Of the people who saw 6 jams, 30% bought one. That is a tenfold difference. When the options quadrupled, sales crashed to a tenth. When options are overwhelming, people simply shut down. Now, with jam, who cares? You don't eat toast, you survive. But what if that jam is your employer's 401k plan? What if it's your health insurance? What if not choosing means losing money every single day? Why does our brain short circuit when faced with options? It's not because you're lazy. It's biology. According to research by social psychologist Roy Baumeister, decision-making acts like a muscle. The more you use it, the weaker it gets. He coined this decision fatigue. Baumeister's experiments showed a brutal truth. One group of participants was forced to make a series of trivial choices, red or blue, candy A or candy B. The other group just sat there. Then, both groups were given difficult math problems. The group that had been making decisions gave up significantly faster. Their willpower, their mental fuel was already empty from the trivial stuff. Apply this to your average Tuesday. You decide what to wear, which route to drive to work, what to eat for lunch, how to reply to that passive-aggressive email, which agenda item to approve in the meeting. A 2018 study suggests the average adult makes about 35,000 conscious decisions every day. 35,000. And the market keeps inflating that number. In the 1990s, the average U.S. supermarket carried about 7,000 items. Today, it's over 30,000 to 40,000. Your brain's bandwidth hasn't changed, but the market is demanding 4x the processing power. The system is crashing. And when the system crashes, you do one of 3 things. You do nothing. That 401k form sits on your desk for 6 months. You pick the default, usually the most visible, or the one the company wants you to pick. You impulse buy. You get frustrated and just say, take my money, I don't care. All 3 scenarios make you poorer and someone else richer. Okay, this is my favorite part. Let's do the math. Let's calculate exactly how much decision paralysis is stealing from your net worth. Case 1. The 401k paralysis. A study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that for every 10 additional funds added to a 401k plan, participation rates dropped by 1.5% to 2%. Companies thought they were helping by offering 50 different funds, but they were actually causing employees to not enroll at all. Let's price that out. Say you're 25, making $55,000. You plan to put in 6% and your company matches 3%. But you get overwhelmed by the paperwork and the fund options, so you say, I'll do it next month. And next month turns into 1 year. At a 10% historical return from the S&P 500, that missed contribution of $4,950 compounded over 40 years would have been worth roughly $217,000. The cost of being overwhelmed by paperwork? $250,000. And it gets worse. According to Vanguard, in plans without auto-enrollment, the delay isn't just 1 year. The average lag can be over 3 years. That's a $500,000 mistake just because you couldn't pick a fund. Case 2. Health insurance. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, the average consumer on the ACA marketplace faces about 70 different plan options. Premiums, deductibles, copays, networks, drug tiers. Carnegie Mellon researchers found that when choosing workplace plans, about 61% of employees choose a plan that is mathematically wrong for their health needs. They are overpaying by an average of $2,032 a year. Why? Because they gave up comparing and just picked a low premium with a high deductible they can't afford, or they just stuck with what they had last year. $2,000 a year. Invest that over 30 years? That's another $350,000 gone. Case 3. The premium default effect. A 2015 study in the Journal of Consumer Research showed that in high-choice environments, consumers spend about 17% more. Why? Because when the brain is tired, it uses a shortcut. Expensive equals good. Marketers know this. That's why they create 15 versions of the same product. They want you to get tired and just grab the pro version. If 17% of your discretionary spending is decision fatigue tax, that's easily $1,000 a month for the average household, purely wasted on upgrades you didn't need. Add it all up. Decision paralysis is costing you conservatively $15,000 to $20,000 a year. Every year. Not because you're stupid, but because you are stuck in a system designed to be impossible to navigate. Let's humanize these numbers. Meet Sarah, 32 years old, graphic designer in Chicago. Makes $58K. Smart, degree, no debt other than student loans. She considers herself rational. But look at Sarah's day. Morning. She tries to switch phone carriers to save money. She opens the T-Mobile site. Essentials, Go 5G, Go 5G Plus, Go 5G Next, business plans, bundles with Netflix. She reads the fine print for 15 minutes, gets a headache, and closes the tab. I'll do it later. She stays on her old plan, overpaying by $15 a month. That's $180 a year vanished. Lunch? A coworker talks about starting a Roth IRA. Sarah knows she needs one. She opens Fidelity. She is hit with 200 index funds. Large cap, small cap, international, emerging markets, sector funds, target date funds. She closes the app. I need to research this weekend. That was 6 months ago. Evening car insurance renewal. She goes to compare quotes. Geico, Progressive, State Farm, Liberty Mutual. She types her VIN and driver history into 3 different sites. 30 minutes in, she gets annoyed and just lets her current policy auto-renew. NerdWallet says she's likely overpaying by $400 a year. Bedtime, Sarah opens Netflix. She scrolls for 30 minutes trying to pick something. She falls asleep watching nothing. This didn't cost money, but it cost time. Sarah isn't lazy. Sarah is drowning in 35,000 daily decisions, leaving her with zero energy for the few financial decisions that actually matter. You know the feeling. It's that Sunday afternoon vow. This week, I'm finally going to fix my insurance, open that investment account, and negotiate my internet bill. Then Monday morning hits, life hits, and you do none of it. It's going on to Amazon for a humidifier, seeing 4,000 results, reading a review on a 5-star product that says broke in 2 days, and leaving the site buying nothing. And the worst feeling? It's the self-blame. Why can't I do these simple things? Everyone else has this figured out. Here is the truth, they don't. According to Bankrate, 56% of American adults lose sleep over money, and a huge driver is simply not knowing where to start. It's not a lack of options. It's too many. We need to step back and ask, why is it like this? Who benefits? Simple. Corporations. Harvard Business Review analysis shows that expanding product lines increases sales by dominating shelf space. If you sell shampoo, you make a volume, moisture, color, protect, and repair version, essentially the same goop to push competitors off the shelf and confuse the consumer into buying the more expensive targeted solution. Your paralysis is their profit strategy. Financial institutions are the worst offenders. Why are there 50 different credit cards from the same bank? Gold, platinum, reserve, preferred, student, business. It's so you get tired of comparing and just say, fine, I'll pay the $95 annual fee just to get it over with. This is called choice architecture. Companies hire behavioral economists to design the maze so that when you get tired, the exit door you choose is the most profitable one for them. You think you're navigating freely. You're actually a rat in a maze designed by a genius. You might be thinking, but Dean, isn't choice good? I want to find the perfect thing for me. Here's the trap. Schwartz distinguishes between two types of people, maximizers and satisficers. Maximizers need the absolute best option. They compare everything. Satisficers look for something that crosses a threshold of good enough and then stop. The research shows that while maximizers might objectively make slightly better choices, they are miserable. They are plagued by anxiety and regret. What if I picked the other one? The cost of finding the perfect choice is often higher than the benefit of the choice itself. Isn't this just about willpower? Just decide faster. No. Remember, decision fatigue is biological. Your prefrontal cortex has a battery limit. Saying, just decide harder, is like running a marathon and telling your legs, just don't be tired. So how do we fight back? The system is rigged to paralyze you. But once you know the math, you can hack it. Here are 3 strategies to save your wallet and your brain. Strategy 1. The 5 or die rule. For any comparison insurance, funds, gadgets, limit yourself to 5 options maximum. 80% of the value is found in the top 5 results. Need car insurance? Get quotes from the top 5 biggest carriers. Stop there. Need an index fund? Look at the top 5 lowest expense ratios. Pick one. Making a good enough decision among 5 options beats making no decision among 47 options every single time. Strategy 2. The automation firewall. The antidote to decision fatigue is to eliminate the decision entirely. Automate everything. Set your 401k to deduct 6% automatically. Set your savings to transfer $200 the day your paycheck hits. Autopay every bill. Don't decide how much to save every month. Decide once, set the machine, and walk away. When companies switched 401ks to auto-enrollment, participation jumped to 95%. Be the auto-enrollment for your own life. Strategy 3. The Sunday audit. Pick one Sunday a month. Just 2 hours. This is your financial audit. Do not try to make financial decisions on a Tuesday night after work. Your brain is fried. You will make bad choices. Save all the boring admin stuff for Sunday morning when your brain is fresh. Batch them together. This 2-hour block can literally save you $10,000 a year. I'll leave you with this. Steve Jobs wore a black turtleneck every day. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same gray t-shirt. Obama wore only blue or gray suits. They weren't crazy. They understood the math of decision fatigue. They were saving their decision-making energy for things that actually mattered. The difference between you and them isn't just money. It's allocation. You are burning your decision fuel on toothpaste, Netflix, and lunch menus. So you're running on empty when you face the decisions that determine your wealth. Freedom of choice is great, but freedom has a cost. And nobody showed you the bill until today. Here is your homework. Pick one financial decision you've been putting off, just one. The 401k, the insurance, the phone plan. Apply the 5 or die rule. Compare 5, pick one, and execute it this Sunday. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. Because now you know the math. Staying frozen in the toothpaste aisle isn't just annoying, it's costing you a fortune. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe. And send this to that one friend who always says, I'll do it later. They need to know how expensive later really is. I'll see you in the next one.